Hello and welcome to the Life Tools podcast. In school, we learned history and algebra, foreign languages and chemistry, but nobody taught us tools for life. How do we deal with self-doubt? What are beliefs and how do they influence us? How do we find ourselves when we feel lost? And how do we make a healthy decision? Many people learn these things much later in life, after 3, 4, even 5 decades of existence, and often the hard way. For a few, like myself, I had to learn them very early. I created this podcast to share with you the tools that have helped me greatly in my own life. They're small actions anybody can take that bring big results over time. Let's get to it.
Hello everyone, we are at week 6 and this episode will be all about beliefs, what they are and how to start questioning them. This will be a 2-part episode, just like the episode on quiet time. So what is a belief? A belief is just a thought that you have thought over and over to a point where you are now convinced it is true and you can easily find evidence for it. For example, I believe that organic food is better than non-organic food. I believe that people are essentially good-hearted. I believe that there is a higher intelligence operating in this world. Beliefs are like filters, and we go through life with these filters. Think of Instagram. If you put on a sparkly filter, everything becomes sparkly. The fact that I believe people are essentially good-hearted makes it so that trusting someone is more my default mode. Needless to say, beliefs play a major role in the way we experience life and the quality of our life as well as its trajectory. So it's important to be, number 1, aware of them. A lot of people go through life looking through a certain lens or filter, aka a certain set of beliefs, and they're not even aware they're wearing those filters. Second, once you're aware of your beliefs, it's important to question them. To make this more concrete, let's just do an exercise. It's much more effective than listening to me talk on and on about this. Get a piece of paper and a pen and on it write 1 to 5. Now, list 5 things you believe are true about the world and about life. For example, 1. The harder you work, the better your chances at succeeding. 2. Life circumstances are random and beyond our control. 3. Some people are born more talented than others, and on and on. You can pause this audio as you write. If more beliefs come easily to mind, feel free to write more than 5. Okay, the next step is, for each belief you have listed, I want you to ask yourself 5 questions. 1. Where did I learn this? 2. Is it really true? 3. Can I find 0 evidence to the contrary? 4. Does this thought serve me? 5. If it's not serving me, what do I want to believe instead? To illustrate this process, let's take the first example. The harder you work, the better your chances at succeeding. Now, of course, success can mean different things to different people, but just for the sake of this illustration, let's say that success means earning a lot of money such that you're able to live the lifestyle you want, because many people do have this definition of success. So, first question, where did I learn this? I'll speak for myself because I actually did have this belief in the past. My answer is my family. I grew up being told over and over that if you want to succeed, just work hard. If you're not succeeding, work even harder. Show everyone you're the best. If you're working for someone else, come to the office the earliest and be the last to leave. Second question, is this really true? In my home environment, yes. My parents would point out people around us who were succeeding because they weren't afraid of hard work. But as I grew older and was exposed to others outside my normal circle, I began to see that there were people who were putting in 1/3 the hours that I was putting in, and yet they were earning much higher. When I started teaching English, for example, I had a friend who was being paid 200 RMB for an hour of work, while I was being paid 25. I also met people for whom earning money was just like walking to the kitchen to get a glass of water. It was so simple and so easy. And here I was doing everything I could, commuting 3 hours each way to work as a substitute teacher for Korean students and being paid pennies. So my answer to the third question is, I had evidence to the contrary. At least later on in my life I did. In this case, was my belief really true? Let's just pause here and think about this. If success was difficult for me and easy for someone else, then who was right? Who held the truth? What is truth even? What is the relationship between belief and truth? Does believing something make it true? Would you agree that we, meaning I and that friend earning $200 an hour, were both right according to our own experience of reality? In my reality as a 20-year-old, success was difficult. For the friend who was earning $200 an hour, success, at least in terms of earning money teaching English, was easy. We were both right. So if we were both right and our perceptions were both true respectively, then it means truth is not set in stone. Nobody is in possession of the truth, and the playing field is level. An image just popped into mind, and I don't know if this is a good analogy, but I'll offer it anyway. Imagine you're presented with a table of different varieties of strawberries. There are plump, juicy ones, there are sweet ones, small ones and big ones, tart ones, and everything in between. Now, you grew up with strawberries in your garden, but they were tart and a little bit dry, and as a child you thought all strawberries were tart because they were the only ones you were exposed to. But now, here is a table of different varieties of strawberries. In this situation, would you say the sweet strawberries that you're seeing for the first time are not really strawberries just because they're not like the ones you grew up eating? No, right? You would realize that, strawberries come in different varieties. And now that you know this, would you keep eating the tart variety you always hated as a kid? Or would you reach for the bigger, sweeter, juicier ones? I hope you're getting the picture. If every belief gets to be right, then the crucial next step is to ask, does this belief serve me? If the belief serves you, meaning if it gives you inner peace or brings you closer to success or makes your life run more smoothly, then you don't want to change the belief. If I believe that success can only come from hard work and I'm not succeeding working 10 hours a day, what do you think I'll do to reach success? That's right, work even harder. I'll work 12, 14, 16-hour days trying to prove how I'm the hardest working person on this side of the planet. I might actually reach success one day, but at the expense of my physical and mental health. So obviously, this belief does not serve me. This is where question number 5 comes in. What do I want to believe instead? Take note, I said, what do I want to believe instead, and not what do I believe instead. You can't go from one extreme to another. Imagine if you believed you were very ordinary looking and someone told you to believe you were drop-dead gorgeous. You could look in the mirror and say, I am beautiful, but there would be another voice in the back of your mind saying, shut up, come back to planet Earth. So we want to start with just being open to taking on another belief, like looking at a dress you normally would not wear because maybe it's too dressy or too sexy or whatever, but thinking, I wonder if I could look good in that dress. I wonder what it feels like to wear such a dress. My answer to question number 5 would be, I want to believe success and hard work are not directly proportional. I want to believe that I can work less and actually succeed faster. And that's where we will leave it for this episode. There's enough to digest in here. I encourage you to do this exercise. If you really apply it, it can be life-changing. And I speak from experience. I would love to know how this exercise went for you. If you had any aha moments or if it brought up anything to the surface. Drop me an email at lifetoolspodcast@gmail.com. Tune in again next week for the second part of this conversation about beliefs. Till then, bye!